Hello and welcome to my film review for a film that's a little bit different this time. This is actually a documentary. It's the KSI Can't Lose documentary about his fight with Joe Weller earlier in the year. And it's actually surprisingly good. When I first started watching it, maybe I was expecting it to be like, oh, look at me, I'm so great, you know, and the way he plays up to camera on his normal videos. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I actually enjoy his normal videos. But it wasn't like that at all. It was much more down to earth, realistic, and it's actually a very well put together documentary, to be honest. Right from the beginning, it was actually very well put together. It's obvious they've spent a bit of money on this, making it look the best that it can, and it's obvious the way it's all done that you know, some real professional documentary makers have actually gone to work on this and made it very entertaining. It was informative, educational. Some might find it inspiring the way he put so much hard work into becoming the champion of YouTube, and it was generally a good watch. So any KSI fan out there would probably really, you know, enjoy this film. And also, even if you don't particularly like KSI, even if you don't know him, I think it'd still be a good film to watch just to see the progression he makes and the training goes through and the hard work. And that's why I think for some people it would be inspiring just to show the amount that he goes through. I mean, he went through a lot more than what he ever let on in his like daily videos and stuff like that. The way he has the trainers and the food and the physio and all the extra work, and I mean, there's a lot in it that he went through, and it's all done, but it's not like in your face. It's like, I'm doing this, I'm so great, you know, look at me, I'm amazing, isn't this, you know, I'm the best. He didn't really do that all the way through. I know he does do that quite a lot in his videos, but that's all for show, really. But in this documentary, it was a lot more honest, and there were times in it, you know, where he looked like that he probably wouldn't win the fight, and you see his training, and sometimes in the training, he isn't looking his best, and his trainer actually even says, you know, he's not always ready, you know, he needs a lot more work. Like at the beginning, you know, he's got like no defense at all, and you know, so they do actually point out the fact that, you know, he is not a professional boxer, you know, and you know, he actually admits that himself. You know, he used to be chubby, he's a gamer, that he got his name playing FIFA, you know, so they show all that, and so it is quite well put together in that regard. And I was engaged right through. It's only an hour long, but right from the beginning all the way to the end, I was engaged. And if you watch my other film reviews, although this is the first time I've done a documentary, you know that engagement for me is quite important. If I'm a lot of times I can zone out and it's like, oh, what's going on? You know, I don't really care. But this one, I actually, it had my attention from the start to the end. There is a slight criticism though. It's not perfect, because most of the film is leading up to obviously the Joe Weller fight, and obviously he's going to be fighting Logan Paul soon. And I felt the documentary, it kind of had like a gear change after the Joe Weller fight, because they were filming all these bits for the documentary and everything. Then after that, I felt it just felt different. That the tone felt a little bit different, as if it was an afterthought. So it's like, okay, so we've done the documentary, he's won the fight, and it's like, oh, he's got this other fight coming up, we better put a few clips in just to show that coming up and maybe promote that a little bit. And it did feel a bit like it was an afterthought, to be honest, on that bit. And the clips they used a lot of clips that we've already seen from various YouTube things, and whereas everything leading up to that, although they did use clips that you've seen on YouTube, a lot of it was original footage that you've never seen before, and a lot of it was filmed specially for the documentary, whereas afterwards it felt like it shifted, so it was more they did a couple of extra bits that they filmed for the documentary, whereas mainly stuff we've seen before, it really felt like an afterthought. I don't know if it was an afterthought, that's just the way it felt to me. But other than that, I'm not saying it was bad, I'm not saying it lost my attention or anything, or I felt like I didn't want to watch it anymore, because it did still have my attention and I was still enjoying it. I just felt like the last like 10-20 minutes were an afterthought. But leading up to that bit, you know, it was all very well done, and it was obvious what they were doing. It was obvious they were filming these bits for the documentary. I mean, you know, it's like he had a vision right from the very beginning. It's like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna film this for my YouTube, and I'm gonna film this for the documentary. And it felt like there was a lot of focus and direction, and they knew what they were doing. Overall, it was actually very good. As I said earlier, even if you don't know who KSI is, it's still worth a watch, because it is quite a good, inspiring film, and it is well put together, and it's obvious they've put a bit of effort into making it. So it's not just like just thrown together. I mean, it seems to be like, at the moment, it seems to be like trendy to make documentaries on YouTube. I mean, like every few years there's like a trend. Like a few years ago it was all about the challenges, and then last year it was all about making diss tracks, and this year it seems to be like people are making documentaries. You know, it's like Shane Dawson's made a documentary, and Keemstar's even made a documentary, but this one just seemed like it was just a cut above the rest. It was just put together with intention rather than it just sort of happening. So that was better. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Go and watch it. And KSI fans are probably going to watch it anyway, but I actually think it's worth watching even if you don't know who he is. Alright, I've got loads of other film reviews on this channel. If you're new here, click subscribe. I also do lots of stuff which have got nothing to do with reviews at all. This always confuses people. They subscribe to my channel and then the next video is something 100% different and they're like, what the hell is this? So just be warned, that will happen. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.